this is Tomo Daphne. Welcome back to Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. We are still in Nekomaru's trial, and we have, for the most part, solved the mystery of the funhouse. Which brings us to the real question, how do you kill someone using a building? I think we were right here, 4th floor, while the elevator was on the 1st floor. This is where we were at.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Which has me thinking.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
Well, you got a better idea?
But my gut is going crazy right now.
And not just because I'm hungry. If Nekomaru died from falling, where did the killer shove Nekomaru from? And how do you even shove a robot? We want to reach the truth behind this incident and need to solve that mystery next. Oh, good night button. You put him to sleep first, and then go shove.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
But what if you got Nekomaru in the room while the elevator was on the 4th floor?
They moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Wait, was Chiaki about to say exactly what I was saying?
The elevator
Has a sensor?
As long as there's a
Moving object inside Nekomaru wasn't a moving object, someone pressed his goodnight button. Remember when Nagito said that robots are not a people? That's sort of true here.
If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
Yes, Sonia, his sleep mode.
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's on sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
So what they did was they got him on the 4th floor, put him to sleep,
However, even if
and
they
then
moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it.
unless...
There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from. Yes.
So like, why are you being so defensive about this,
That's what I was about to explain. Before
Kazuichi so rudely interrupted me.
Silence, pest.
You calling me a pest? I'm the ultimate gamer. A way to create the drop inside the elevator while Nekomaru was still in it. Chiaki seems to have an idea, but what way could that be?
If you arrange it a certain way,
Oh, wire
cause the drop to
in the elevator. So they used that wire tied around his leg. They tied it around his leg to suspend him from the
hammer is suspicious.
doorknob. Sonia, now's not the time.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
Yeah, the wire tied around his legs, and then they also tied it to the doorknob that snapped off.
Doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
So they tied him to the doorknob,
I agree with that.
and then they went down to the 1st floor and activated the elevator that way. So they suspended him from 3 stories up, and he just, like, the weight snapped off that doorknob, causing him to fall.
Where it got scraped by the wire. Is that the same wire that was tied
And they
around
didn't put it,
Nekomaru?
like, right behind the hinge of the doorknob, so they would slip off more easily. And I guess the pillar fell over because he hit his head on that, and it all came falling down.
That's right. He was suspended in midair. Huh? The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the
And that's
wire
why we
to
found the body in Grape Tower, because that's on the 1st floor.
With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower
And just waited for him to go boom.
and suspended Nekomaru in midair.
How does he have a snot bubble when he's a robot?
was so well hung. Kinda like.
Monokuma, not in front of the children!
Not finish that sentence.
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death. Too easy.
What, you're mad that we actually have a solution to this problem? I'm gonna be mad at you because that might make me look cool to Sonya.
Why? If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that,
How do you get him to fall? I guess you just...
suspended in midair, you won't die.
If the scrapes of the wire on the doorknob were just on the handle, that wouldn't be a long way for the wire to slip. They intentionally put it that way so that he could slip off more quickly. Clock's alarm timer.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push it. There's no way they could do that.
I guess if there really is an alarm clock in his
Doesn't mean
chest...
someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
What?
Nekomaru fell on his own? Yeah, the clock's alarm timer. So if we're talking about the radio clock inside Nekomaru's chest, if you can set an alarm and that alarm ran off, it would like and shake Nekomaru off the doorknob.
If Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair.
Oh, he tried to shake his way out of it.
Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm clock in his chest. You're the one who took them apart.
As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode.
So they only wanted him asleep long enough so that they could tie him to the doorknob.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why,
Like, wouldn't it make sense that you try and get out? Except, oh crap, you're suspended 30 feet in the air.
you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
And then, in order to make him fall from
The
the
force he was generating
the wire was hung
on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off, as I've already probably mentioned like 7 times.
In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
The doorknob snapped off before that.
Because the entire doorknob came off. When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Or maybe they just underestimated his strength because, like, he is a robot, or was, or whatever.
If they knew it leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
They probably did, we just need to figure out what that is. The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because... In that case, I shall use my full power! With a fierce roar, Nekomaru put all his power into grabbing the doorknob with both hands and broke it. But... Clatter, 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 clatter. Not yet! Here comes the incredible strength of 1 million horsepower! Whoa! Wait, isn't it creaking? If you break off the doorknob, we'll be stuck in here. If that's really what it was. So that doorknob had already been damaged a little by Nekomaru, so that when he was suspended in midair, it finally broke.
So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death. Do you finally understand now? Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig.
Yes, you are. Imagine if Chiaki just said that.
If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
Step on me, mommy.
No.
I would rather not step on you, Kazuichi.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
What kind of masochist are
Stop
you?
on this. So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor.
Right, he hit his head on the pillar, and that's why that fell over. It doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor. The moment Nekomaru fell to the floor, the only thing I can think of that happened to him was he cola came out of his eyes. He collided with the pillar.
I see. When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
and that's what caused the fatal brain damage.
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon.
In like a kind of roundabout sort of way.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue
That will lead to the killer. I mean, I'm still defaulting to Gundam since he said he was the ultimate weapon.
I'm positive the
The
alarm
alarm
was
is
set
set
for
for 7:30 a.m. and if we map it out from here, did they set the alarm to cover up the sound?
Baby gangsta.
What did you just call me?
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
Never.
What'd you just say? Did you
I
say
said the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. The alarm on Nekomaru's chest, 7:30 a.m.
7:30 a.m.
The clock in Strawberry House at 5:30.
Possible.
So that clock had to be tampered
I
with.
slept in a little. I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning. Now that you mention it, so did
We
I.
are in we are in a type of purgatory where time no longer exists. It could be 12 in the afternoon for all we know. Monokuma removed all but 2 clocks, and clocks can be tampered with. It's like a casino. It robs your sense of time perception so that you keep gambling.
7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7.
Tampered clocks.
That's what I want to know.
Tampered clocks? Another mystery you don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after another. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth with like a logic dive or some shit. There should definitely be a clue to breaking through this contradiction. Weep, 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 weep. Yeah, the radio clock. The radio clock in Nekomaru's chest has to be correct.
I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m. Nekomaru
Yeah, and Fuyuhiko claimed that they heard the loud crash at 5:30, so it had to be set 2 hours back.
Those must be an illusion.
killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's
No, you can't mess with the clock in Nekomaru's chest. It had to be the one in Strawberry House.
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
Yeah, the clock's in both houses probably.
Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
They went around and messed with every clock in
that's
the
what I asked you to
funhouse.
do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
How many clocks were in there?
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
I mean, they all had to have been tampered with.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Maybe it's a misunderstanding.
I don't.
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
I don't think that Sonia is lying. She's just been given incorrect information. This time-related contradiction. I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Perhaps we've overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. Which clock was messed with? How was it messed with? And why didn't we realize it? Because there are no freaking windows in this building. We can't see the sun. Our circadian rhythms are all off. We don't know what time is anymore. I should be able to find the answer to that mystery with a logic dive. Don't you hit me with the random jump in the middle. Okay, what Hajime and Gyo's misunderstand the time of the building. Which clock was tampered with the building's clocks? Which house at the wrong time? Both houses.
all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko? Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
Which is to say, all of the rocks at the wrong time. Hold on, let me see.
All the clocks? So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it. I see. So the killer messed with the time.
There's nothing stopping them because Monokuma decided not to add windows.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that. This is truly fantastic!
Shut.
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly,
How much was the time off? I mean, I said, like, Fuyuhiko claimed that it was 5:30 when Nekomaru hit the floor. When they heard that huge... How much? So it had to have been 2 hours. There's something that could be used as a standard for measuring time. That should be the clue. Alright, I need to find that. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. Weep, 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 weep. It wouldn't be Akane's account, it would be
We can
Fuyuhiko's.
only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death. It's clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time is 7:30 in our time?
I don't
are
know.
there any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
What is time?
If only I heard the sound when you fell.
Yeah, there was a sound. Yeah, Akane was the one who heard the sound. So let's consent with Sonia. I just like...
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
Oh yeah, you're in the soundproof room.
So I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Yeah, and if we connect it to Fuyuhiko's account in Strawberry House, they all heard it at 5:30 when they were trying to turn off the alarm clock.
It's obvious we hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too. It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh? You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
Well, so was I.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so that would be a...
Huh? You can tell?
Well, I got up and
I
checked the
instantly
clock.
woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Yeah, so it's a 2-hour time difference. If that rumbling sound we heard was at 5:30 a.m., let's do some kindergarten level math. It's like the answer to how much time was off is literally right in front of me. Alright, I start with 7, I take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I see! Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30. And if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means the time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starting pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer
Probably
alter
to
our perception
just-
of time?
The reason is obvious.
Yes,
so they can
or
lure out
just Nekomaru. Yeah, we have his Fuyuhiko's account is that he caught Nekomaru walking down the stairs at an odd time. He's the only one who knew when 7 o'clock actually was.
Take Nekomaru to the tower alone, right?
Everyone else would look at the clock and say, it's just 5. Nekomaru had the radio clock, so he was able to know when it would be 7 and go down to the Strawberry House at 7 a.m. where the killer was waiting for him to put him to sleep. And then only Nekomaru would know what time it actually is. What time it actually was. So the specific thing the killer used was Monokuma Tai Chi. Because Monokuma wanted us all up off our asses at 7 a.m.
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that.
So if we were required to go to Grape Tower, how did Nekomaru end up on the 4th floor to fall back down to Grape Tower?
What that dude was. We wouldn't be able to attend on time. That wouldn't affect Nekomaru.
Imagine if Monokuma was there waiting for everyone. He was like, oh, it's just Nekomaru? Okay, fine. I'll see how it is.
Precise time.
And then you saw the killer come in, put Nekomaru to sleep, and he's like, oh, I see what's going on. I'll leave you to it. Yeah, Fuyuhiko's the one who caught Nekomaru walking downstairs.
Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much
But
it.
did Nekomaru go to Strawberry House?
That time, he
And
was
that's
heading
where the
over
killer
to
put him to
Monokuma Tai
sleep?
Chi, right on schedule.
It was the rest of us who were 2 hours late.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Well, what are you talking about?
He didn't even ask you yet.
Jeez, how outrageous. I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. But it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
You said everyone, including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it?
Correct.
What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
Monokuma, what are you talking
Are
about?
you talking about tripping over someone else's fault? Wrong! Too bad!
But I was right, wasn't I?
Liar! I'm right! That's not it! It's incorrect!
Monokuma, I said the right thing and you know it.
Correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery.
What did you just call
Now
me?
that we found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects
Suspects has drastically decreased. It had to be someone from Strawberry Tower. House. Whatever. Huh?
Hey, how did that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar.
Well, I wasn't intending to be a liar, but since you brought it up, guess it's time to start spouting bullshit.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
So he caught Gundam
Witness
walking
Nekomaru going
downstairs.
towards the tower. Did something else happen after that?
The alarm clock went off.
Are you talking about that alarm?
The alarm that was set to cover up the sound of Nekomaru
A little while
falling.
after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then
Whoever doesn't have the
alibi
the
time is the prime
time.
suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
So I think at this point, when did the killer break the elevator and the button? There had to be some point where they disconnected Strawberry House and Grape House.
Both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest.
So the Strawberry House and Grape House are disconnected, which means all the action happened in Strawberry House, so our suspect has to be from Strawberry
Who's the
House.
bastard?
It's whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? Select someone. I mean... Oh, Nagito didn't have an alibi. Yeah, Gundam was in the guest lounge.
It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there.
But where was he?
It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko. You didn't come out, even though the alarm was
Oh,
going off.
Nagito was in a soundproof room. He wouldn't have heard anything.
You weren't in your room, were you? If that's the case, where were you?
Yeah, I think
Please, say something.
the more you stay silent, the more suspicious we get.
An answer. I'm gonna suicide dive you.
Your threats have no effect on me, Akane.
Even if I wanted to go to the lounge,
I couldn't. Where was he then?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard
Because he was in the soundproof room. He couldn't? Shit, I guess Nagito does have an alibi.
fucking lying.
If he was in his room and didn't hear anything, then that's where he
That is
was.
also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House.
Did we just forget that a third of the rooms in this house
But
were
I did not hear the
soundproof?
rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it. To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Huh?
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it. But if it wasn't that, I probably couldn't hear it at all. Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
It means the sound waves did not reach my ears, Akane.
Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Or you can just tell. I mean, I know the answer, but like, why doesn't Nagito just say these things that would make the trials run so much more smoothly? The secret is what these three have in common. Could have something to do with the guest rooms they were staying in. Are we gonna do Hangman's Gambit with this? If that's the case, I may be able to figure out what they have in common. Hangman's Gambit. Here. What does that spell? Maybe deluxe suite? Deluxe rooms, plural. I was thinking, what's another word for room that's 5 letters? I'm like, suite? Here I am in your life. Here I am in mine. The sweet life of Danganronpa 2.
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki, the three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
Soundproof. The guest rooms are divided up by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. And the crummy room has severe airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise.
That's right. It was because the deluxe
Rooms have superior sound insulation, and that's why Nagito has an alibi, because he didn't know any of this was going on, and that's where I'm going to end the video. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to blast that patriarchy, smash that like button, Bomberman that subscribe button. I will see you next time with another episode of Danganronpa 2. Goodbye.